Welcome to IKnowJAX, the show about fun things to do in Jacksonville. This is the first episode of 2012. We started the show way back in November, which really wasn't that long ago, and we have just been thrilled with the feedback we received for IKnowJAX. Emails, phone calls, comments, you name it. For us, it's all been quite unexpected and, to say the least, a nice surprise. Almost everyone I talk to has a favorite video they've seen on the show. And since it's a new year, a time to reflect on what's great in 2011, we thought we would also have a great time bringing back some of those segments that had everyone talking. Right now, we're making plans for 2012, and we have lots of exciting things in the works. More videos, more fun stories, and more fun stuff on the website. But enough talking, let's go on with the show. First up is Taste of Jax, and I had such a good time with Art, and we received so much feedback on this segment. A lot of people besides us loved it. Watch and you'll see why. We visited Checkers BBQ for a buffet dinner one night.
Crab cakes, made with real crab meat, cornmeal, the way Granny did it.
Art was preparing seafood while his assistant Larry was grilling ribs in an oven big enough to fit a whole pig. Surf and turf.
Yeah, we have a redneck surf and turf. It's smoked tender ribs, and it's supposed to be 25 of our fresh river shrimp that we're serving right now.
Now, I had more than 25.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. I went to school in Jacksonville, and this many is 25. So,
okay. And how do you serve them?
Hot shrimp, hot shrimp. That's what we're doing. You may not recognize the flavor, but it's real crab meat. Spelled with a C.
Check this out.
Hot shrimp! Yeah, baby!
Oh, I won't.
Thank you.
Can I have like two? Just two.
Okay, there's two in there.
Okay, thank you.
We had a great time together. Art had so many stories to tell about food and life back in the good old days. He also told me he used to own a fish camp, but didn't want to reveal which one.
Seafood Extravaganza is a buffet we created out at the Palms Fish Camp. Oh, I gave it up. Okay, we used to own the Palms Fish Camp. And we have a Little Marsh Island casserole. It was right on Little Marsh Island.
One of those Depression era dishes I had.
Well, you're exactly right. My mother's family came from the Depression time, and they just had potatoes a lot of times. And down the street, they brought in the scallops, and there was a lady named Connie. Well, her name was Connie Wolf at that. No, it was. Okay, we'll say it was Connie. We'll just say Connie. I forget her other name, but she was beautiful blonde, but she could cook well. And
Not a bad combo.
no, not a bad combo. You got a package there. And her and my mother came up with the Little Marsh Island casserole. It's quite a tasty thing with the fresh whipped potatoes, the ocean scallops, a few seasonings, a little bit of garlic, a little bit of cheese, and a little bit of love. And we never tell you what part that is. And baked off, and it's delicious.
And the fried green tomatoes were awesome as well.
Authentic. You slice them thin, and you deep fry them in our zero trans fat oil that we fry in, and they should have a little crispness to them. And we use flour. And a lot of times, what the big question was back then is, how do you know? Or people say, how would you know what to use, flour or cornmeal? Well, when you're frying fish, you use cornmeal. When you're frying chicken, you use flour. Or back then, you really used whatever you get to get your hands on.
Right.
Yeah. But we have a good time with it. After we've filled you up with the fresh shrimp and the fish battered with cornmeal like Grandma would do, we go around with blackened shrimp, Jacksonville style.
And I have to say that was my favorite thing of the whole night. Was
A
the black
lot
and
of
shrimp.
people.
Oh man!
We're serving that at a wedding, as a matter of fact, on Saturday night. It's a favorite. We do not overpower the shrimp with the
still taste the
cayenne.
shrimp in there.
Yeah, that's right. And
How
we
about
want
that?
you to. How about that? That fresh shrimp. That's hot, fresh shrimp. That's what I'm talking about.
And then when it's all said and done, you have a doggy bag policy that blew me away.
Yeah, well, see, if they don't eat everything on our little buffet, we have everything served in iron skillets. If they don't eat everything, we're not a house that saves our leftovers. It's like coming here, like you would go to your grandmother's on Sunday dinner or something, and she would want you to wrap
Remind me
up.
a little of a church social or
A church,
something.
wrap it up. We got tin foil. Take it with you. Take some with you. We're not like that. We want you to feel like you've come to a family member's house and had a soiree. What to expect? Other than everything?
Besides the unexpected,
The-
because that was definitely what we got.
Having it cracker style. You don't get it anywhere in North Florida like you get it here. It's authentic, and it's fresh, and it's delicious, and it's fun. And we love to do it. So that's what you get here. Up in here.
Up in here.
Up in here.
That's how we do it.
That's how we do it up in here. That's what I'm talking about. I really get your attention when I come out with the meat flavor. But at Checker, we love it when friends and family come together as you have. And these people right here have eaten with me since the fish camp days. And today is Dorothy's birthday. It's her 16th birthday again. I think we've done this 3 times now. But so, happy birthday to you.
Believe it or not, I've been told more than once that I'm a funny guy. I know, I'm just as surprised as you are. Don't know where they get that idea. Now, I had the opportunity to meet a real funny guy, a local comedian by the name of Dan Jonson.
It right, and the phone's right here, and the phone rings. It's like, oh my God, I can't get out. One of my favorite parts is they scan a big baseball field, and there's a whole family in the stands watching their kid playing softball or baseball, and they're all wearing the Snuggies. It looks like a rogue pack of monks escaped from the...
So I'm here with Danny Jonson, comedian. Tell me a little bit about your show here at Latitude 30.
Well, you saw it. It was wonderfully hilarious.
It was, actually.
This is a great place to perform. I got my start here locally, so I like performing in all the local venues here. You got a couple of great spots for comedy, and it was a little odd. I think there was a birthday party here that was enjoying.
Very interactive audience, we'll say.
They were speaking out loud during a live show, which I don't know if they thought I was recorded or but I was live.
You were an animatronic at
there.
like Chuck E. Cheese or something?
Yeah, they thought it was Chuck E. Cheese and they could participate. But I love what I do up there. I love making people laugh, and I like them to laugh and not talk while I'm talking.
How long have you been doing this?
98 is when I got my start. I got my start here locally at 98, and it was on a whim. Just kind of went. I always wrote stuff, and used to do sketches, reenact Saturday Night Live sketches with my friends when I lived.
Good material.
Yeah, I loved it. All the old Saturday Night Live stuff, and just started doing comedy and telling jokes and making people laugh. And then I spent a couple of years just bombing and retuning and becoming a better comic, and eventually comedians started taking me on the road with them.
Very cool.
And then now I've made it to a headliner status.
Full
I guess.
time. That's your gig.
I love it. I can't wait to get up there. I want the other guy off so I can go on, even though they're good.
Yeah.
I just want to.
Most of them anyway. Yeah.
They are. They're all good. I have respect for all people that get up there and pour themselves out and do what they do.
Well, that's something I was going to ask you about. I mean, how long does it take you to hone a show? I mean,
Wow.
'cause that takes a lot of bombing, I guess, before you get there. I mean, it's like every other business, right?
If I look at some of my favorite pieces in my show, probably years and years to fine tune the timing, the writing, the punchlines, the taglines to a certain chunk of material. Some comedians are topical, so they have to churn that material over a little more.
Oh, wow, yeah.
I don't do topical or political humor. It's about my family, and so I kind of just try to make it. Here's my life thus far, up through being single to married and kids, and but it takes a long time for a joke to be the way I want it to be.
Well, and there's something else about your show that's pretty special because it's clean. I mean, you do a completely clean show.
Yeah.
What possessed you?
Wouldn't that be funny if I just started cursing right now?
Well, go
just
for
violently
it. I mean, we'll
cursing?
bleep it all out, but go right for it.
I think it's my idols are Seinfeld. Kevin James is funny to me. It's just a clean.
Well, you've been compared to those guys as well, so that's
an
gonna
honor.
be a big compliment. Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Huge. That's
Jackie Gleason, I even heard tossed out there.
Maybe the faces. I don't know. But I enjoy that challenge of being clean. I mean, there's not a whole lot of, I'm all for a well-placed vulgarity. Not in my show, but I watch other comedians. But some, you don't need it all the time.
Right.
I don't use it at all. So
it's not a crutch.
And it's helped me. I do corporate work. I do.
Right.
I'd love to get into churches and do
private stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that than some of the clubs with the hecklers and the. If you think about comedy, you're going into
you don't deal with drunks in the church, hopefully.
Right. If you think about comedy, you're going into a room full of strangers who consume large amounts of alcohol, and you have to make them laugh for an hour.
Yeah.
So
preferably.
Hopefully.
That's the whole idea.
And you can't tickle them or anything like that.
Yeah.
You could try.
Yeah.
But
no laugh track.
no laugh track. That would be awkward.
Yeah, that would be weird.
Especially if you had the button
and the
up
timing
on
was
stage
off.
and you pressed it.
The timing was off a little bit. So, what's your future? What is it you're looking to do
The
now?
future?
Yeah, tell me about the future.
Well, we're gonna have flying cars.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Sign
And
me up.
jetpacks. I don't know. I kind of want to just make people laugh.
So the present is the future for you.
Present is the future. I enjoy what I do, and I really want to get into more of the private stuff, private corporate stuff, so I can be. They really appreciate the clean show.
Right.
And pay more.
You want to be appreciated?
So,
and you're a comedian.
Right.
What
I
were you
really just
thinking?
want to be able to do comedy. I'd love the idea of telling jokes for a living.
Without doubt, Danny and I agree on two things. We both love what we do, and we both like to get paid more. I also love the idea of owning a flying car or a jetpack. Now, many moons ago, I packed up my family and moved to the small town of St. Mary's on the Georgia coast, without the help of any futuristic transportation methods, I might add. Here, time flows as slowly as the river. In many ways, it was quite a culture shock coming from the big city to a small town. And one of the things I hold dear is the beautiful barrier island right outside St. Mary's, Cumberland Island. In Hit the Road Jacks, we explore fun destinations within a reasonable driving distance from Jacksonville. Today, our destination is Cumberland Island. Cumberland Island is one of the largest undeveloped barrier islands along the Atlantic coast and is a national seashore. Let's go exploring. Cumberland's history is rich and colorful, starting with the Timucuan Indians, then continuing with the French, the Spanish, pirates, steel magnates, and cotton plantations. Behind me is Dungeness, one of Cumberland's icons. Can you imagine how beautiful this was in its heyday? Dungeness burned in a fire said to have been set by a poacher, but who knows? Islands are always full of legends, rumors, and stories, and Cumberland is no exception. Roughly 90% of Cumberland Island is protected. Protection from humans has been done by limiting access. Only about 300 day trippers and a few camping permit holders are allowed on the island, and the only access is by boat. I'm with Fred Boyle, Superintendent of the Cumberland Island National Seashore. How you doing, Fred?
Doing well.
Now, I understand you guys have started a new program out here on the island. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yes, back in August we started the Lands and Legacies Tour to the north end of Cumberland Island. It includes a number of the historic sites that are difficult to see otherwise because they're so far up the island.
Cumberland Island contains 4 major historic districts and 87 structures listed on the National Register of Historic Places. There is lots more to see on this beautiful island, so take the first chance you get to visit it for yourself. You can find more information about Cumberland Island and other destinations when you visit our website at IKnowJAX.com. We'll be right back after this. What do you like to do when you relax with friends and family in Jacksonville? Now, sometimes I like to pack a picnic and go to a park, but sometimes, especially when I have family visiting from out of town, a little bit more excitement is needed. And one of my favorite places to go with the gang is St. Augustine because there is so much to do there. And this time, we visited the Pirate Museum. I'm at the Pirate Museum in St. Augustine, Florida, and this place fits the bill because it's a fun thing to do and it's a great place to hang out with family and friends. One of the really cool things I like about this museum is they have a treasure map, and you can go and look for treasure throughout the whole museum. And not only does it appeal to your sight and your sound, but also smell. You can smell things and guess what it was. Leather. And over here, one of our little treasures. One of my favorite things they have here is this interactive library where you can go in and research all the pirates they have. I'm with Carrie from the Pirate Museum here in St. Augustine. How you doing, Carrie?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Tell me how this whole thing got started.
Well, we were originally in Key West, and then Pat Croce, our founder, actually came to St. Augustine on a visit and fell in love with the nation's oldest city. And so it was a perfect place for the Pirate Museum to come because pirates actually raided St. Augustine, and there's a deep history of pirates here. So it's just a great place for us to be. Well, the Book of Pirates is an interactive book of pirates. It's touchscreen and it's actually award-winning. And you can flip through it and learn about all the different pirates from the golden age of piracy. But there's also kind of a treasure hunt that's built into the book. So as you go through it and you learn about pirates, you can like click on various icons that are related to the pirates. And then that'll kind of save up in a Skull bank account. And then when you get to the end, then it gives you a treasure map of the museum. So it's pretty cool.
Okay, now I'm going to ask you a question about your booty.
Uh-oh.
So tell me about your booty.
Okay. The legal booty that I can actually discuss is in Shipwreck Island. And Shipwreck Island is all about treasure. So we have treasures in there from Port Royal, we have from the Etosha, but we also have a whole lot of treasures that are on loan from the Florida Division of Historical Resources, which is really cool for us simply because they don't usually go out on loan so easily. And so for us to get it was a big deal for us. There's the Jolly Roger flag, which is one of only two in the world that's dated to the 1850s. Right. There is, of course, Two's treasure chest, which is the only pirate treasure chest in the world that once belonged to Thomas Two, who is a pirate from Rhode Island, who incidentally is like one of only a few pirates from the U.S.
Lots of cool stuff.
Yeah, there's lots of cool stuff inside. And the fun thing is that it's not just artifacts. You can go in and you can look at them, but you can also touch and experience because there's a lot of interactives and there's a lot of please touch things throughout the museum.
And now, wasn't it a pirate movie that inspired this whole thing with Pat?
Well, Pat's been a pirate fan since he was a little boy, but yes, he saw Captain Blood when he was just a little boy in Philly, and that's from 1935, but he fell in love with it.
He's not that old, is he?
No, he's not that old. Can't you see? He's probably going to live till 105, knowing Pat. But no, it's he saw this movie and he really identified with his spirit and fell in love with pirates and all they stood for. And so it kind of, as he grew up, it stayed with him, and as he got in a position where he could collect real artifacts, and now we have the museum. So it's like his passion just went all throughout his life, which is pretty awesome.
Well, me buckos, it's high time you shoved off. So get out of my face before I keelhaul you.
Don't forget to check us out online. First, there's the website at IKnowJAX.com, where you can find the latest videos and full-length episodes and keep up with what we're doing. Sign up for the newsletter and you'll be the first one to know when we have contests and giveaways and other events. That's the best way to keep in the loop. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/IKnowJAX, or find us on Facebook and Twitter. We'd love to hear from you. Right now we're making plans for the 2012 spring season, so if you have any suggestions for great stories, make sure to share them with us. That concludes the first episode of the new year. I'll be back next week with a whole new show, and until then, I'll see you on the internet.